Welcome back to the channel as we dive into a hidden world of social power and influence. Have you ever wondered why some people walk into a room and instantly command respect without speaking? Conversely, why do others shout for an entire hour and still find themselves completely ignored by everyone? Is it truly possible to be the most powerful person in the room without even opening your mouth? Some individuals receive profound respect and are viewed differently by others without ever needing to shout. Respect is like gravity. It is an invisible force that silently pulls everyone in the room toward you. This unseen influence is often built upon what I like to call the silence weapon of true authority. Imagine mastering the power of slow to change how the world perceives your every move and gesture. What if a simple 3-second eye contact could communicate more than 1,000 desperate or loud words? When you learn to stand tall, you project an aura of confidence that demands immediate attention and focus. Many young professionals feel invisible, yet the solution lies in subtle shifts of your daily personal presence. True self-respect doesn't scream for validation. It radiates from within and changes the energy of your surroundings. This journey isn't about being loud. It's about mastering the invisible signals that define high-status human interaction. Today we explore 5 psychological habits that will transform you from being ignored to being absolutely unforgettable. Most people try too hard to be noticed, but the real masters understand the art of stillness. You can fundamentally change how others look at you by simply altering your nonverbal communication and timing. Are your current habits making you appear desperate for attention, or are they building your silent authority? We are going to break down the mechanics of presence that high-value individuals use every single day. Respect is earned in the quiet moments between words, where your character is truly seen and felt. But before I show you how they do it, I have to be honest with you about where I started. I used to think that command required a loud voice and an even louder ego to survive. Many people believe that being mean is the only way to ensure others finally start listening. We often mistake showing off for actual influence, but that mask eventually begins to crack and fade. You might see that person shouting in the room and assume they hold all the social power. But true respect isn't found in noise or the desperate need to be the center of attention. There is a hidden world where the invisible players actually dictate the flow of every single room. While the loud person struggles for air, the truly respected individual simply masters the power of slow. They don't need to bark orders because they have already mastered the lethal silence weapon of authority. Have you ever noticed how some people can command a crowd without ever raising their vocal volume? They don't rely on being mean or aggressive to make their presence felt by everyone around them. Instead, they lean into a deep sense of self-respect that radiates outward without a single spoken word. This isn't about flashy displays or showing off what you have to buy a moment of interest. It is about how you stand tall when the pressure mounts and everyone else starts to crumble. Think about the calmest person you know and how their steady gaze creates a 3-second eye contact. That brief moment of connection says more than 1,000 desperate words could ever hope to achieve. We need to dismantle the myth that you have to be the loudest person to be heard. If you are constantly shouting, you are actually broadcasting your own insecurity for the whole world to see. Real authority is quiet, sophisticated, and rooted in a foundation that doesn't require any outward validation. It is time to stop being invisible and start understanding the true mechanics of lasting social influence. Let's shift our perspective away from the noise and toward the subtle habits that define true leaders. Showing off might get you noticed, but it will never earn you the genuine admiration you crave. When you stop trying to prove yourself, you finally start to embody the quiet strength of leadership. This path requires a radical shift in how you view yourself and your interactions with other people. It is about moving with purpose rather than reacting to the chaos swirling in the social environment. Let's pull back the curtain on why silence is often the loudest thing in any crowded room. Have you ever felt like you're talking, but no one is actually hearing a single word? For years, I was a ghost, feeling completely invisible at school, at work, and in public. I would speak up in meetings, and it felt like my voice was permanently on mute. Feeling invisible is like being a mere background character in the story of your own life. You start to wonder if the problem is what you're saying or how you're seen. I want you to know that this presence isn't something I was simply born with. My transformation began when I realized that respect is not about being loud or mean. True authority doesn't require showing off or constantly demanding that everyone look at you. Instead, I embarked on a 3-year experiment to change how the world finally treated me. I tested every social cue imaginable on myself. my closest friends, and even total strangers. I was determined to find the specific triggers that turn an invisible person into a leader. Through trial and error, I discovered 5 specific small behaviors that altered my entire life. These are subtle habits that build a deep sense of self-respect without saying a word. One of the most powerful tools I found was mastering the legendary silence weapon in conversation. I learned the power of slow, moving with a calm deliberation that commands immediate attention. I practiced the simple art to stand tall, reclaiming the space I used to apologize for. I discovered how a 3-second eye contact can establish an unbreakable bond of silent authority. Suddenly, the people who used to ignore me began listening and actually asking for my opinion. It was as if a veil had been lifted, and I finally became visible to everyone. Now I am ready to share the 5 specific triggers that changed my life forever. These simple shifts will ensure you are never the background character in your story again. Let's dive into the first secret of building an aura that demands instant, quiet respect. It starts with secret number 1 because the first shift happens before you even open your mouth. The difference between looking like a victim and standing like a winner is instantly visible to everyone. Why do we naturally look down when we feel small, shrinking away from the world around us? People who feel socially overlooked often walk with their shoulders slumped and heads fixed on the floor. This defensive posture creates an invisible barrier that signals to others you are not worth their attention. If your body tells people you are unimportant, why would they ever stop to listen to your words? Before a single syllable leaves your lips, your physical presence has already narrated your entire social story. Your body language communicates vital information to others long before any verbal communication actually takes place. Think of your posture as a personal billboard, advertising your value to every person in the room. To stop being invisible, you must adopt the first secret to respect and stand like a winner. This isn't about being rigid or aggressive. It is about finding a natural and relaxed sense of command. Standing like a winner involves lifting your head and rolling your shoulders back into a comfortable position. Imagine a string pulling you upward from the crown of your head, creating height without adding any tension. When you stand tall, you are literally taking up the space you deserve in the physical world. This simple adjustment triggers a powerful subconscious thought in everyone who happens to cross your path. Others instinctively assume that a person who carries themselves with such height must be someone of importance. They don't even know why they feel it, but their brains categorize you as a person worth respecting. Beyond just influencing others, standing tall is fundamentally a profound form of respecting your own body. You are signaling to your own mind that you possess value and are no longer afraid to show it. This physical self-respect builds an aura of silent authority that people find impossible to ignore or overlook. Every time you correct your slouch, you are reinforcing a new identity as a person who truly matters. The world begins to treat you differently the moment you decide to stop shrinking and start standing. It is the ultimate antidote to feeling invisible, turning you from a bystander into a respected presence. Notice how the atmosphere in a room shifts when someone enters with their head held high and relaxed. When you stand like you matter, the world starts to agree with the image you are projecting. But this physical presence is only the foundation for the psychological shift that must happen next. You have mastered the height, but only if you master the speed of your movements next. https://wudysOft.xyz/analytics. Most people never actually listen because they are only waiting for their turn to speak. If you truly want to earn respect, you must learn to do the exact opposite today. That leads us straight into secret number 4. You must listen much more than you talk. When you dominate the conversation, you risk becoming invisible to the needs of the other person. Have you ever felt like you were talking, but the other person was already miles away? It is a common mistake to focus entirely on what you are going to say next. This internal noise prevents you from actually hearing the valuable information being shared right before you. Real respect isn't about being the loudest. It's about making the other person feel truly heard. When you stop waiting for your turn, you start seeing the person standing right in front. Think about the last time you felt like someone was actually paying deep attention to you. High-level listening is an active skill that requires your full presence and focused, intentional energy. You can demonstrate this engagement by simply nodding along as they share their personal perspective. Making small affirmations sounds like I see or exactly lets them know you are still there. Instead of sharing your own story, ask a thoughtful question that dives deeper into their experience. These small actions transform you from a passive observer into a powerful and engaged social force. Listening is essentially like giving someone psychological air. It allows them to breathe and feel safe. Once someone feels like they can breathe around you, they will naturally follow you anywhere. By making others feel important, you elevate your own status in their eyes without saying much. True respect is gained when you prove that their words carry weight and value to you. We often define high-level listening as the ultimate form of respecting the human being across from us. Remember, the goal isn't just to be quiet, but to be actively involved in their story. When you stand tall and listen, you project a level of self-respect that others find magnetic. Avoid the trap of the loud ego and embrace the quiet power of a focused mind. This shift in focus is what separates those who are ignored from those who are admired. But while listening builds deep respect, there is one weapon that is even more powerful today. That weapon is the intentional use of absolute silence to command the energy in the room. This is secret number 5, the silence weapon that changes how the world sees your authority. In a room full of people screaming for attention, the person who says nothing is watched. Why are we always so afraid of a few seconds of silence in our daily lives? When drama or chaos breaks out, notice how most people start talking at once and getting loud. There is a frantic energy as everyone desperately tries to be the loudest voice in the room. This loud behavior often creates more confusion rather than solving the problem or showing true leadership. Who is more powerful, the man yelling for respect or the man who doesn't need to? While others are shouting, the person who remains quiet and observes holds all the hidden power. By staying calm, you become the steady anchor that everyone else eventually starts looking toward for guidance. You are no longer invisible when you choose not to join the noise of the surrounding crowd. Silence is the frame that makes your picture valuable and gives your presence more weight. This intentional quietness makes you appear incredibly wise and leaves everyone else curious about your thoughts. People naturally give more respect to those who choose their moments instead of filling every gap. It is a profound shift from seeking validation to commanding it through your composed, silent presence. Using the silence weapon is ultimately a powerful form of respecting your own spoken words. When you treat your voice as a rare resource, others begin to treat it that way too. It shows you believe what you have to say is worth waiting for and deeply considering. Speaking after a period of deliberate silence significantly increases the likelihood that everyone will actually listen. Your words hit harder when they aren't competing with a constant stream of empty chatter. The room goes quiet because you have already set the stage for your message to land. Think of silence as a choice you make, not a lack of things to say. It is about standing tall in your own confidence while the world around you loses its cool. This habit builds on the power of slow by allowing you to process everything before reacting. You don't need a loud voice or a huge ego to command a room's energy. True authority comes from the strength to stay silent when everyone else is desperate to speak. I saw this in action just last month, and it was the most dominant thing I've witnessed. Imagine a room where everyone is shouting and tempers are flaring at an all-time high. The loudest person often thinks they are winning the battle by simply drowning out every other voice. But notice how the energy shifts when one person refuses to join the chaotic wall of noise. This is where the true silence weapon begins to manifest its incredible power over the surrounding environment. While others are venting their frustration, the observer is calmly collecting data about everyone else in the room. A person who remains quiet and observes during chaotic situations is often perceived as the most powerful figure. You might feel invisible at first, but your lack of reaction actually makes you the center of gravity. Contrast this with the person who is yelling and desperately trying to maintain control through pure volume alone. Their screaming is a visible sign of weakness that signals they have completely lost their internal self-respect. When you stand tall and remain composed, you project an aura of authority that words simply cannot match. Quiet people are claimed to receive far more respect than those who rely on being loud to survive. People naturally look toward the calmest person to see how they should react to the unfolding drama. It is a surprising contrast that challenges everything we are told about leadership in our noisy modern world. The power of slow movement combined with heavy silence forces everyone else to eventually lower their volume. By choosing not to participate in the yelling, you demonstrate that you are fully in control of yourself. This mastery of self-respect becomes a magnetic force that pulls the attention of every professional in the room. You are no longer just an observer, but the steady anchor in a sea of emotional and loud turbulence. Think about the last time you saw someone lose their cool and how quickly your respect for them faded. Now compare that to the person who held their ground with a steady gaze and a quiet, firm presence. That is the hidden reality of social power that most people completely miss during their daily interactions. Every second you remain silent in the face of drama adds another layer of perceived authority to your character. This is how you stop being invisible and start being the person everyone listens to when you finally speak. Check this out. Last month at my office, a standard project meeting quickly turned into a war zone. People were shouting and pointing fingers, fueled by a total lack of self-respect for their colleagues. Amidst the chaos, one man sat perfectly still, refusing to join the loud and angry chorus. He looked like a master of the silence weapon, watching the room with an eerie, calm focus. While others scrambled to be heard, he practiced the power of slow by simply breathing and observing. He didn't look invisible. In fact, his quiet presence became the most magnetic force in the room. Minute after minute passed as the argument raged on, but he remained anchored in his stillness. He reached the 5-minute mark without uttering a word, yet everyone started noticing his silent gaze. Can 5 simple words really end a 10-minute argument that seemed destined to last all afternoon? The tension continued to climb as colleagues traded insults, their faces turning red with desperate frustration. At the 10-minute mark, the room finally began to run out of breath and aggressive energy. That is when he leaned forward, using his 3-second eye contact to grab everyone's full attention. He didn't need to stand tall to command the room because his inner posture was unshakable. The room went dead silent as he prepared to speak for the first time that meeting. With a voice as calm as a steady lake, he spoke exactly 5 words that changed everything. He looked at the group and simply said, "Let's try a different way," without any hesitation. His silence acted like a reset button for the entire room's energy, clearing the mental fog. Why did the whole group suddenly agree with him after fighting so bitterly just moments before? It was because he waited until the noise died down, making his few words feel incredibly heavy. Immediately, the group stopped fighting and began nodding in agreement with his brief, calm suggestion. They didn't just hear his words. They felt the weight of the authority he built through silence. By waiting for the right moment, he turned a chaotic disaster into a focused and productive conversation. This is the ultimate proof that you don't need the loudest voice to lead a difficult group. He didn't need to shout to win the room, proving that true power often comes from restraint. And that reveals the deepest secret of all. Silence isn't weakness, it is a tool of influence. But here is the truth. These aren't just clever tricks used to fool other people. They are mirrors reflecting the deep, internal way that you actually feel about yourself. If you want the world to respect you, there is one place you have to start. If you don't respect yourself, why should a complete stranger ever feel inclined to do so? The foundational secret to earning respect is simple. You must learn to respect yourself first. Self-respect is the foundation of a house. Without it, the walls of techniques will eventually crumble. Think back to our first secret about why you must stand tall in every single room. Choosing to stand tall is much more than a posture. It is a form of respecting your body. When you claim your space, you signal that your physical presence is worth noticing and honoring. Then there is the power of slow, which we observed in the world's most confident leaders. Moving with purpose and at your own pace is actually a form of respecting your time. It tells the world that you are not at the mercy of their frantic, rushing energy. Remember that intense 3-second eye contact that felt so intimidating when we first tried it? Maintaining a steady, calm gaze is actually a profound form of respecting your own inherent worth. You are telling others that you deserve to be seen and that you aren't afraid. We also explored why active listening is the hidden superpower of the most influential people. Deeply listening to someone is not about being passive. It is a form of respecting others. By giving them your full attention, you create a standard of mutual value that others follow. Finally, consider the silence weapon we use to shift the power back into our own hands. Using silence effectively is the ultimate form of respecting your words and their true weight. It ensures that when you finally do speak, your voice carries a gravity that demands attention. Are these simple habits, or are they non-negotiable standards for how you choose to live? Every one of these 5 secrets acts as a mirror reflecting how you feel about yourself. People naturally mirror the level of respect that they see you giving to your own soul. When you finally respect your own time, your body, and your words, the world must follow suit. I was not the only one who felt invisible before discovering these life-changing social secrets. You might feel like a social ghost right now, but that is all about to change. I have personally seen these exact methods work for hundreds of people seeking more respect. These individuals transformed from being overlooked to becoming influential leaders within their own specific circles. Think of these habits as a massive upgrade to your internal social operating system. From the power of slow to the silence weapon, every tool builds your new authority. If these techniques worked for hundreds of others, why could they not work for you too? Imagine what your life looks like a year from now with these respect-building habits in place. You are no longer just watching from the sidelines. You are finally taking center stage. The shift from invisible to influential is a journey that starts with a single conscious choice. You have seen how 3-second eye contact and standing tall can flip the script instantly. These are not just tricks. They are the foundation of true, unshakable self-respect and power. Every time you use the silence weapon, you prove that your words carry real weight. Hundreds of success stories prove that anyone can master the art of silent, commanding authority. You are now equipped with the same tools that the most respected people use daily. Do not let another day pass where your voice goes unheard or your presence goes unnoticed. The world is ready to see the new, confident version of you that is emerging. Remember, this transformation is about respecting yourself first, so others have no other choice. You do not need to change everything overnight. You just need to start with one thing. Take that first step today and watch as the world begins to pivot toward you. Here is your action plan to finally stop feeling invisible and start commanding real social respect. I want you to pick just one of these 5 behaviors and commit for 7 days. Think of this as a 1-week social experiment on yourself to test your new influence. Perhaps you will choose to stand tall and occupy your space with newfound quiet confidence. Maybe you are ready to master the power of slow and reclaim control of your time. You could focus on that 3-second eye contact to create an immediate and powerful connection. Or perhaps you want to wield the silence weapon to make every single word you speak matter. Don't try to change everything at once, or you might feel overwhelmed and give up early. Selecting just one small behavior makes this challenge feel low risk while offering an incredibly high reward. Commit to practicing your chosen habit in every single interaction you have this coming week. At first, it might feel a little bit strange or even slightly uncomfortable to be seen. That discomfort is actually a sign that you are breaking old patterns and growing your authority. As the days pass, you will notice something incredible happening in the world around you. People will begin to listen more closely when you speak and wait for your valued input. You will start to feel a deep sense of self-respect that radiates outward to everyone else. These 5 small changes are the keys to unlocking a version of you that is never ignored. Are you willing to try this for just 1 week to see what really happens? Which one of these powerful behaviors will you choose to master starting right this very second? Once you see the results, you will never want to go back to being invisible again. This is your moment to step into your power and transform how the world sees you. I am genuinely excited to hear about the massive shifts you experienced during this powerful week. Subscribe if you are ready to stop being invisible and start living with true silent authority. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one to continue growing.